Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Hard-Headed Podcast with Mark and Rita.
Rita,
yes.
so sophisticated.
Yes. Where we talk about feelings and relationships and everything in between.
What's everything in between?
You tell me. The mystery.
That is so random. Okay.
So how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling...
Actually, this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Or this night, wherever you guys are
Man,
listening
time passes fast. I'm feeling tired because I got woken up by thunder at 4 a.m.
Yes, it was so loud.
It was so electric and that was not a normal thunder.
Yeah.
It was metallic, like you described it.
Yeah, because I think there's machinery outside in construction, and that shit resonated on that.
Yeah.
And it was like, I thought it was literally an alien invasion at 4 a.m.
I'm like, yes, finally.
And it happened again, like twice or something. Anyway, it was very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a shitty sleep we got, basically.
Absolutely.
But we're here.
How are you feeling?
Moody, irritable, tired, sleepy.
Because of how you acted
Yes.
before?
Yes.
Before we started recording, Mark got annoyed at me for telling him that he didn't place his phone screen properly.
Yes, because it was the second time this subject was brought up and I didn't have the energy to discuss this.
And I was simply saying it because there's actual bubbles on his screen forming.
That is because it's tight. We have it tight on the, what's it called? What do you call that thing now? I can't even think anymore.
I don't know. It's the thing that holds the camera.
Yes,
Yeah.
the tripod, I guess. Anyway, when it's tight, it kind of pushes the screen protector, so it kind of creates the bubbles again, but they go away after.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for caring. I'm sorry.
I was being judged for not placing it in the perfect symmetrical shape that you expect.
That's how you call it.
Yes.
Okay. So Mark needs to sleep. That's what it is.
So yeah, the thing about me is, although to be fair, it's not like, I think it can happen to anyone when you're tired. You can obviously be moody, irritable. That's the thing for me, but it's not like we become raging or whatever.
No.
But it's just, there's a certain mood, because you generally just don't have as much energy, so it takes more effort to do certain things. So yeah, you're like that usually when you're hungry. You become
oh yeah, absolutely.
a different kind of species.
Yeah,
altogether.
I become my inner rage that is forming, and
yes. For anyone who's familiar with God of War, there's rage mode, right? Just L2, L3 together. That's but he teaches.
This is gamer vocabulary here.
We're each gaming now. We got a second screen. She's playing Zelda. I'm playing God of War.
Yeah.
It's perfect. We don't see each other's face. No, I'm kidding.
God, okay. Can we please talk about this?
Let's do it.
Speaking of that,
okay.
We saw a video the other day about this cute couple, and let me describe the scene to you. So it's basically her boyfriend and her boyfriend
and her cat.
Her boyfriend was playing like what we usually do every night, PlayStation. And was playing whatever video game on it. And she was playing on her Nintendo Switch on the floor with her cat next to them cuddling and whatever. And they were both like gaming and just being cute and whatever. And they wrote on the video what it looks like in your 30s with no kids on Friday nights or whatever nights.
Yeah, like when you're married or something.
Yeah, and it's just like when you're married in your 30s and have no kids, basically. And it's just like this wholesome video of them playing video games and being cute with each other.
You're like, oh, look, it's funny, it's cute.
And it's funny, it's cute. Like, that's the automatic response you'd get. But no.
Yes.
We went on the comment section and there was a war. What kind of war, you ask? Well, how dare you not have kids? What is it that you read?
Things about you're selfish for as if people who have kids are getting shamed because they were saying we have the good life now, but that's what it looks like for us not to have kids. But the video was just saying, sorry, I just had a phlegm rush in my throat.
That's how ridiculous this one.
Yes.
But
anyway, yeah, it was just like them saying, we're happy the way we live, and there's nothing to explain.
They're not shitting on people that have kids. They're not shitting on people who don't have kids. They're not shitting on anyone. They're just showcasing how tranquil their nights are playing video games, which is kind of resembles a lot of our nights because we don't have kids yet and we're playing video games, and it's just It's the best.
Also, it's not
But
like this thing is impossible when you have kids.
yeah,
Okay, I think that was even in
that's
one
another
comment that
point.
was saying like, well, when we put our kids to bed, then we have the night for ourselves and we do game. So
Yeah.
the point is this does not. There's nothing to this video that requires novels being written in bashing them or defending or bashing in the comment sections. It's just there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just loud people in the comments shitting on them, cyberbullying them, just because they're sharing a cute little video.
It's just insane how society can go far as to shame people for not doing what they're doing. It's embedded where you have to have kids and you have to do it at a certain age. And if you don't do that, you're shamed for it. But why?
And you're selfish.
And you're selfish. And there was this one comment, I think it was the top one or something. I get what he means, but I wouldn't word it that way. But the first thing he wrote is, having kids today is the most selfish thing you could do.
Mm-hmm. And then he elaborated
For the kids. But then he elaborated.
I think he was kind of defending the way they were living.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think either or, it just felt like you're living your life and you're just sharing a piece of your life. And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
And then it turned into them being attacked. I think it's probably, I'm speculating, but this level of triggering that people have and how they feel like they get very defensive about it might be projecting, I think, which is maybe they're resentful of their life situation with kids, so they're throwing it
Exactly.
on them as if like they're flexing on them because we don't have kids, look at our good life. But
yeah. Now, I wouldn't go as far as calling it selfish, like, yeah, the other dude that commented, but I get what he
Right.
means, because kind of like what you said, to talk about your point here, people have kids just to have kids. They're not aware of the responsibility that comes with having kids, and they regret it after having kids, and it's something they realize after. So why do you do that to yourself, and why do you do that to your kids? And that notion, I understand that it is selfish to
in a
yourself
lot of
and for kids.
cases I've seen it is a form of selfishness, whether it's born out of the pressure of satisfying
Parents.
or just family expectations, or you treat your kids like they're your project. So
Yeah.
it's this new business project I have, and I have this whole thing lined up for them of what I expect them to be that will make me look good. You know, I'm gonna have them do this and do that, and they're gonna play piano, they're gonna get into Harvard or whatever, they're gonna become a doctor. It's like you have this thing in your mind that you're trying to play out for them. You have this whole movie, but you're living in a movie. And then your kids have their own personality, so they don't want to do the things you wanted them to do. And then you start to resent them and what happened and blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah.
this is a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And yes, if people are wondering, we are planning on having kids, and we are prepping for it as well. Like, I know we're reading a lot of books, we're doing a lot of that and getting information as much as possible. And I know a lot of people say, oh, read as many books as you want, and it's not going to be the same thing when having kids. We know that. But I feel like just adding that preparation, just reading a book, just doing something instead of nothing, still puts you more advanced and more forward in having kids, in wanting kids, because you're 10 steps forward in being ready.
yeah, it's just, if you've never done the
It's-
marathon in your life, nothing prepares you.
Exactly.
Rather, you'll never know what it is until you run it for the first time. But there's a huge difference between preparing yourself and winging it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of prep that goes into getting ready for a marathon, and this is how I like to compare parenting. You know, I've had the experience of since I was 16 working with a lot of kids as an instructor and stuff. So I think, of course, it's not like having kids, but there's a lot of experience that you can draw on that. But the reason why we're so invested in studying, it's not just books. Books can be just books. It's really, you're looking at experience, other people's experience. You're studying, you're researching, and studying even yourself. Because the better you grow, the better of a parent you can be, right? Because your own issues and whatever could spill over onto your kids. So books or courses or looking for experience from various sources is part of the prep. And I feel a lot of parents, and we've seen that, they don't do the necessary work to prepare themselves for that kind of marathon or Olympic Games, shall we say, that is parenting. And it's hard. It's hard, and it's meant to be hard. You go into parenting knowing that it's a huge challenge. So why do you seek challenges? It's for the same reason I seek to do difficult things, let's say, at the gym. But the point is preparing yourself, because parenting, as you know, even relationships, doesn't come with an instructions book. It's not like you're instantly given exactly everything you need to do to be a parent or to be a husband or wife. But there are resources and tools that I feel should be more out there, to prepare you, so that when you are dealing with the challenges, you can bear them better. Nothing can prepare you for a storm if you've never been through it, but having a solid ship makes a huge difference.
Yeah. But I feel like it's also definitely everything you said, but some people also just don't want to have kids, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I ever told you this, but before I was with you, I was okay with not having kids ever in my life. This is something I said to myself. And a lot of people don't sit down with themselves and ask, do I really want kids? Do you do that with your partner, or did you ever do it? And it's, for me to have kids, it's because I want the right partner, right? And it's not something I was dying to have. Like, I really want to have kids because it's not because I'm a woman. You would think I have those genes and I long for having children. Not really. That was never my case. And
did you ever feel like the biological clock was ticking before meeting me?
I think it was more of a thought more than a feeling. Like, it was something that society would tell you, and you have to have kids or upbringing. And I mean, you're getting older. What are you waiting for? Or freeze your eggs. But this is not coming from me. This is coming from society.
This is coming. Pressure.
Yeah, it's social pressure. And I don't think a lot of women are aware of that they actually never wanted to have kids, and they just feel like they're having them just to have them, and they're supposed to. But when I met you and worked hard in our relationship and how smooth we are today and continue to be, it's undeniable now. It's like, I want to have kids. It's with you, not alone, because it's different now. My life is different now. So it's something, my course, my thought and perspective with having kids changed. It's not the same.
How did it change? Like, what changed for you?
Well, our lifestyle changed. Our work changed. The way I think changed about life and future projects we have in mind and things I feel like doing. It's really, when there's love in a relationship and a marriage, and
makes a huge difference.
Yeah. When you have a lot of trust and you have a lot of respect, you want more of it. And the way I want to express it is through having kids. I don't know if that makes sense.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. I want to grow it, and what's the best way to grow? One of the best ways to grow your love with your partner is through family.
So extending that love. Yeah. Because right now, you and I are family in that sense. We are the mini family. Yeah. Hit the mic again. We have a different setup, by the way, now. So it's just supposed to be better, see?
Because, I'm able to browse around on my computer and, our water.
Yeah, you have it visible there.
We just have a stool. For those of you watching, you can see that there's a stool here holding our mics. But I can't wait to move. Actually have a studio.
Okay. What was I saying? I was saying
family.
Growing, we're a mini family. We're really the nucleus. So it's, I think, growing I feel the blessings that we have for our family. I also think it's part of human nature. It's in our biology, generally speaking, to want to extend the human race. Yeah. That's there. But people who don't want that, it's also part of their own, I guess, personal makeup or their lifestyle. And that's just, it's like this This is how you live. I don't give a shit how you
Yeah.
want to live, as long as it doesn't hurt other people. So being shamed for it, I think, is very strange.
It
Now,
really is.
for me, if I can just add that point, I've always wanted kids. I love kids. It's since, and this is why when I was 16 and I was a karate instructor. So I became a karate instructor. Teaching martial arts to kids was a big thing for me. I think it's when I had my big weight loss, and combined with that, making movies being my dream, was in any way possible to help through some kind of message, to teach, even through Arabic now that we're teaching.
Yeah.
So when I started teaching, becoming an instructor to kids, for me, I saw how they can all benefit from guidance. I've always loved being a coach. So this is how I approach parenthood, is not being a provider, but being a teacher, a coach. You know what I mean? Which means helping the next generation build, upon the previous one. So it's kind of like you make the world a better place. But again, it's not like treating it like a project, because you can also fall into your ego and you have projects for them because you want to be the teacher and coach and stuff like that. But it's very much, you want to be present for the next generation to guide them. So as a teacher of kids at that time, I just saw their adorable little eyes. Kids have this sense of wonder, and they have a look in their face that is looking to understand the world, right?
Yeah.
So I feel it's so important for the generation before to have the wisdom to be able to guide them.
Yeah.
That's why I did a lot of self-work. So now being a parent for me is the same idea, right? Allowing for a new generation that I can guide through love and compassion and wisdom, as much wisdom as we can have, and to also learn from them. I think one thing parents end up discovering is that you learn a lot, actually. You don't just teach a lot. Your kids, you learn a lot from them about the world and about yourself, because they give you a whole new perspective. So, yeah, for me, I've always wanted kids. It was always a thing, but it was very much finding the right person.
Mark is going to be a great father. No doubt.
And you a great mother.
Thanks. I feel like I had my doubts before, or still. Like sometimes I ask you questions.
You tend to underestimate your power.
I guess. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's weird to say I'm gonna be a great mother, and
why
then make mistakes, and because it's just I don't want to. It's not something I want to say. And
I see where you're coming from.
How do I say it?
I think you're afraid of kind of jinxing yourself or coming out as arrogant, like I'm going to agree a great this, and then you're making mistakes. I think
because it's a learning process. You don't become great like that. So
I'm very confident about being a great father, but I'm not delusional. It's not like, hey, it's going to be easy. No, I know it's going to be hard. Now look at me. I'm irritable because I didn't sleep well. But it's like going to the gym. You don't always feel like doing it, but you know why you're doing it. Purpose makes a huge difference in your tolerance to suffering, right? When you have a sense of purpose. You go to the gym, if you don't feel like it today, but you have a sense of purpose, you'll bear it very differently than if you don't see the point. If you don't see the point of having kids, it makes a huge difference in how you parent. If in that moment you're like, oh, I don't feel like fucking.
Okay, honestly, but that's the thing. I feel like some people shouldn't have kids.
Under that mentality, of course.
I think a lot of people shouldn't have kids in general. And it's a lot of people who say, I want kids, and shouldn't have kids.
What they want is babies.
Yeah.
They don't want children and a family.
They don't want
babies.
they don't want the
Cute.
Work.
That's it. It's like pets, right? You want the pets, but you don't want to put the work behind
a
raising a
lot
dog.
of people get pets and don't understand the work, and they end up abandoning them. And it's this. It's like you're abandoning a kid. It's the same thing for me. When you abandon a dog or cat, you're abandoning a child. Having a kid and having a pet both comes with work and responsibility and a lot of love. And it's something that you need to get ready for before doing anything. And another thing I wanted to point out, this you were mentioning guidance before, and it's teaching. You're the teacher more than a parent. So many people go through parenthood as not the teacher and just the provider or the person that gives strict orders and rules. And feeds you, isn't really present, and people are not aware of how that is screwing up your child and screwing up their adulthood or their mental health, and that's the biggest problem ever.
And their resilience. They don't develop resilience and self-reliance and all these important things.
Yeah, and it's like, this is why mental health is so important today, because a lot of people are having kids, and the root cause of things comes from childhood. If you're not gonna prepare for that now, and you're planning on having kids, then you need to make sure that you're more of a teacher and more of a guidance than a parent, and really understand what that means.
What does it mean for you to be present as a parent?
I'm not talking just physically, because being physically present doesn't mean that you're present.
On my phone.
Yeah, you like can be on your phone and being present. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, sure, okay. And it's not, you need to dedicate time and patience and understanding. Like, if you're not going to have patience for certain things and little things in your life, how are you going to have patience for your child who wants to play with you, who wants to solve this equation with you, or solve this puzzle with you, or play a game, or just sit and talk? If you don't do any of these things and don't have patience for that, don't have kids. A lot of people shouldn't have kids. And I know a lot of people who are getting kids and shouldn't have kids. Because another issue...
What is it you notice, for example?
What I notice is and a lot of divorced couples go through this as well, where one partner wants kids and the other doesn't. And they feel like they should have kids to satisfy their partner. That is the biggest trap ever.
Kids will fix our marriage.
Oh, God. Yeah. Or, for example, parents who need to divorce and don't divorce because the kids, it'll affect them. But then they go through their years growing up, hating each other, fighting every single day, bringing trauma in the household.
Yeah, there's like this void
and affecting your kids even more.
Yeah.
And you're not aware. You think you're saving your kids by not getting divorced, but you're actually making it worse.
There's like this void in the house, this uncommunicated thing, because they're not really together, right? They're just physically together.
Yeah. Yeah, kids. So, good job on those gamers.
Yeah, we circled around. It became a parenting podcast, but I think it's so important because not a lot of people, and maybe this is society is to blame in that we live in a very fast-paced kind of world. So you're not often given the time to sit down and ask yourself why this matters to you. Why do you want kids? Is this just this part of your template that was given to you? All right, you graduate, you got your diploma, you find this job,
make us proud.
That's it. You found you find the partner. Okay, you got your Instagram pictures showing your perfect life. Cool. Check, check, check. What's the next thing to check? Oh, the marriage, looking perfect. The wedding, I mean, check. Even though that never goes according to plan.
The marriage doesn't matter. It's the wedding.
That's it. That too, day. Yeah. And then what else? Now it's the kids. All right, check. Check. And you're just check marking things like a weird bucket list without understanding, sitting down and saying, why do I want this? For the same reason, people don't often sit down and say, why do I want to be in a relationship? Just because I don't want to be alone? What are you seeking? And often you seek more than you want to give. It's like you go into you wanting things as opposed to what can I give, right? I feel the best kind of relationships are the ones when you understand that what I want is what I have to give. If I want love, if I want respect, if I want partnership, authenticity, all these things, these are things I will emanate. This is what I give. So the same goes with kids. If you want kids, you really need to sit down and say, why? Why do I want kids? What am I going to do? What am I doing now to be the best fucking parent that I can be? Knowing I'm not going to be perfect, but knowing I will rock this. What does it take to be an excellent parent? You have to ask yourself this question.
Yeah.
An Olympic athlete doesn't go into training and going for the Olympics without asking themselves, I assume, without asking themselves, what does it take to be an excellent athlete?
Yeah.
So that really changes things. And I think maybe it's not completely their fault because you're not allowed to ask these questions. Have kids. Let's go.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't prepare themselves to have kids. They're just winging it and learning as you go, but it becomes very hard lessons, big mistakes, a lot of issues with the kids, with the partners.
Yeah.
Like, how does your marriage also transform when you have kids? That's another thing not to neglect.
How's your marriage now, even presently?
Yes.
Like, we're fortunate enough to have families to support us and help us. Like, when we have kids, we're not alone. It's not just you and me. We have, our surrounding is full. So we're blessed to say that. It's a privilege and a blessing, but not everyone has that. Like, somebody can have a great marriage, but it's just them and their partner. And they're not aware that sometimes two people isn't enough. But are you prepared for it? Then it's different.
That's one big thing I learned.
Yeah. If you're prepared for it and you know what it takes and how, and for example, you train for it, it's a different story. You have support systems that can help you. You have, like, get educated. If you're not prepared for things that could happen, you're not going to be prepared for the things that 10 times the things that will happen when you have kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you took the word out of my mouth. I was going to mention support system. It's a privilege, but it's also something you can develop.
Yeah.
Meaning it's definitely a blessing, but I don't feel it's a pure privilege in the sense that you're just lucky. I think it's something you can create. If it's not family, maybe you're not surrounded by actually blood family around, but you can have a support system of family, of friends, who are maybe going through the same thing as you, and that makes a difference. This was the old way, like I'm talking like the ancient community village way of going about it, is you have a small community system where that's your support system. Everybody's there for everybody. Like, I have that from my mom, which was explained to me in Lebanon, in the village, where everybody tended to share everything. There was like this machine that was shared for the whole village. And if somebody passed away, there was a 40-day mourning, and everybody would bring food to the person who was mourning. So you don't have to cook for 40 days. There's a really strong sense of community bonding, and that is important for the child. And that's something I learned also from therapists, from some books I read, saying exactly you need that support system, and the child needs to be exposed to beyond just the parents. Yeah. For their own growth, and also for you to have that support you need. You can't raise a child just alone.
I feel like a lot of Native Americans, if I'm not mistaken, tribes do it that way. They have that lifestyle still today.
I believe so, yeah. I don't know to what extent, depending on who, but from what I've seen, I think it's definitely part of the culture. Yeah. It's very different from the modern...
it's never alone.
Yeah,
you never raise a child alone.
Yeah, I've even seen, I think it was tribes in the Amazons who were shown grandparents or the elderly being kept in what do you call them? I'm losing my word. I don't know. In the homes, in the the senior home. Sorry. Yeah. And they saw that for them it was really sad, because the elderly are important to them. They're the sources of wisdom, and everybody takes care of the elders in the community. They're not shoved alone in a box and then you just forget about them, right? Yeah. So in the same way, it's the same goes for kids. Everybody raises the kids, So
I feel like I could be a double-edged sword, though. Like, to go back to the village where your mom used to stay and how it's community. Because everyone's involved in helping, everyone is also aware and present in everything. So I feel like that lacks privacy.
Oh, definitely. I remember this is something from a while ago. I made we used to do like short webisodes of comedy. And I remember writing a quote that said, Lebanese families are always there for you, but they're always there.
But they're always there.
So that's the double-edged sword. And that everybody's involved, and sometimes they can be over-involved. Yeah. So your sense of, there's definitely the collective communal side or community side, but the individual side, my own person is like invaded sometimes. And everybody's ideas, because not everybody has the same level of wisdom. So everybody's shoving their own ideas onto you. And you're like, I need to be my own person. Yeah. So definitely to your point, I would say it is a double-edged sword, and you need to find a balance. You don't want to over-involve, and you don't want to under-involve. Yeah. You got to find the right balance. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're
Parenting.
veering off the actual subjects we want to talk about today.
But that is very important.
Oh, yeah. So,
Wait,
you want to add to
I
it?
wanted just to say this also connected so perfectly to the video we made.
Go ahead.
The AI, the one that generative AI that showed what our kids could look like.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think you guys, I mean, by the time you guys are listening to this, it's like a couple of weeks ago, but we made that and I think we started having like baby fever.
Yeah. We started. It's funny. I think we know it's not 100% accurate because
But it's so
it
cute.
really takes our face and puts it in a baby. And it's just, I mean, okay, I get it. Genes work that way, but it's not accurate in a way where it's just, it doesn't really think of the accuracy of how
Right. The
our
genes.
traits now would
Yeah.
be as a baby. And it's really just taking what it sees now, right? But there is some resemblance in some of the pictures, especially of me being a child. Like I saw me as a child in some of them. What?
I melted.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to look better than that, of course, in reality. It's generative
Or
AI.
different, you know? And
Yeah.
it's when we saw it, when it first generated it, we started crying or welling up.
Oh yeah, definitely well done.
Yeah, it was really cute. And
So, yeah.
I feel like, yeah, it's just when I talk about babies with you, it's just, I get giggly. I get like, oh, a little warm-hearted. And it's sweet, you know? That's how I know it's something I want with you. And it's not just coming out of my ass, you know? It's something I want.
Actually, it would be coming out of the vagina. I hope it's not coming out of your ass.
I hope not, yeah.
Because that would make
That was
shit
very
babies.
graphic.
Oh God.
Let's stop now.
Let's change.
Yeah, sorry about the horrible jokes, guys.
Actually, we can segue into our next subject because it's about relationships getting boring. And I think since we'll veer off into that, but I think since we're talking about kids,
I need to sit differently for this.
yes, fix, yes,
Okay, go
sitting
ahead.
in the meditative way. I can't do
Yes.
that.
You can't?
I can't.
Cross your legs?
My hips are not that flexible.
Really? It's all the muscles.
I guess so, yes. So, this is something that was inspired from a comment. Do relationships get boring after years? The reason I'm saying the comment was based off a video that we made, which is expectations of marriage versus reality, which is fancy, glamorous dates versus
Feeding
sitting each other, farting, and watching shows together, which I
Yeah.
think is awesome because it's like the best kind of bonding. But we got a comment of someone, it wasn't a hate comment, it was just someone saying, why does this happen? I'm so scared.
Yeah.
So it seemed that this person was scared of what they think is boring, right? It just becomes what they thought is just casual and supposedly there's no spark. So Rita.
Okay, let me ask you this. When you're home alone, I'm not talking about you being in a relationship, you're single, whatever. But when you're home alone, how do you act?
So you're not asking me.
No,
You're
I'm
someone
asking
in
you
general.
and I'm asking the audience. You fart, you eat popcorn, you chill, you watch your shows. How do you expect to be living with your partner after several months or even weeks, within weeks even? Like, are you kidding me? It's not glamour and dates, going out on dates every day and eating fancy food. And this is why I don't understand why he wrote, I'm scared. I think he misunderstood maybe by seeing this as something boring, but it's so fun. Like, to me, it's fun. To me, it's what I love doing.
You get to be yourself with your partner. You get to be your
Exactly.
full vulnerable self, knowing that it's all okay.
Yeah. And when someone says they lose their spark, what do you mean by spark? What did you lose? Your
That's a big
sex
one.
life? Is it horrible now? Is it not as fun? Look, we've been married for 2 years and we've been together for more than 5 years.
That's right. How do you not
And-
know this? How dare you?
Because I'm really bad with dates. Leave me alone, okay?
Once she was like, when's our anniversary? It's like, wow. Stereotypically, it's the men that forget the shit
Yeah,
and the
but
women
it's
are
me
blah,
in
blah,
this
blah.
relationship.
I looked at her, I was like,
How dare you?
excellent.
And I wanted the ground to swallow me in that moment. So
That's a big one.
yeah, we've been married 2 years, and a lot of people can say they lose their spark within a year. But it's not the case. If anything, our days get better and better.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this just because you're here with me. I'm not lying.
She's lying.
She's
totally like, she's sick of my face.
Shut up.
Fucking can't stand me.
What do you like to do in your life when you're alone time? What is it? I'm a homebody. You're a homebody as well. And you're someone that likes to do the same things as me. So our lifestyle is going to look a lot like what you see in that video, which is you farting on the couch or us watching something, or those gamers that are just gaming next to each other. That's literally what we do, and it's the best thing for us.
Feels like your happy place.
Yeah. This is what's fun for us. This is, like you said, our happy place, our comfort zone. So in that regard, there's no spark that's lost because we've always been like this. If you're someone, however, that likes to go out,
yeah, how would you navigate that? Because I think there is compromise there, and you know, like you've always tended to go out more than I did in your general lifestyle, especially maybe in your younger days. I was very much into my world, writing stories. Yeah, but it was more
forced.
Oh, okay.
If anything, I was someone that always rather stay home, you know?
Right. But you do it because friends got to do it.
But I do like to go out here and there.
Same, yeah.
And some people like to go out more than that. And that's okay. It's a preference. But this is time you make with your partner.
What makes you make that, though? Because that's, I think, links into the spark dying or not dying. What makes you want to do that?
Forgetting about your partner and just not.
For example, or how do you compromise in a healthy way without feeling like you're sacrificing your personal values or integrity or how you want to live in your lifestyle?
Prioritize it. It's important. If it's your partner and it's your life, you're my life, that's something I'm going to prioritize.
In your life?
Yeah. So if it's something that I'm going to make time for, I'm definitely going to squeeze in. If I don't have time for it, I'm going to sacrifice something to make time for it. It's as simple as that.
But we talk about it too, right? Because there might be times where I don't feel like it, right?
Yeah.
So this is where we start to find a healthy compromise. We got to sit down and be, okay, well, if you want us to do it 4 times, that kind of visit, for example, okay, maybe I want to do it twice or whatever. I think that's simple. That's probably going back to communication, or at least transparently sharing your feelings. I think the spark, dying or not dying, has to do at least with that. Like you mentioned sex life earlier. It's never the sex life. It's not the sex that gets boring. That's a result of something else that is not addressed. There's a disconnect that's starting, so you're starting to feel like you're not really together anymore. So, of course, that translates into the bed. So first you gotta target that thing first. You gotta address some issue you're having that you perhaps are not communicating.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta communicate your needs. Very important. We're not shy of speaking of our needs to each other, all, you know, whatever they are. And that's very important because it makes me feel understood, makes you feel understood. That, I think, is one of the most beautiful, loving, intimate, and sexiest thing that could happen in a relationship, when you feel understood. You feel like you are in my world, you understand my world. Exactly. Heard and seen and all those other related verbs and adjectives about the 5 senses. Smelled and touched and tasted. I feel tasted. You get what I mean. I don't know what it means to be tasted, but anyway, we're not going to get into that. Initiate dirty jokes.
The hell did I marry?
Yes, you married a freak. So yeah, the spark. Where was I going with this?
I don't know. You're talking about being tasted.
Oh God. Smelled. Hey, you definitely smelled my fart.
I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
But they have now. Please, you guys go through this. You see what I'm trying to tell you guys here is that when you find the right person, it's the person that you get to do these things with without shame or fear. Remember that first time you farted on FaceTime?
I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, I heard it. I'm like, what? Did you fart?
I'm like, no,
I was so happy. I'm like, yes, checkpoint. We crossed that. And she was like, did you heard that? You heard that? Oh my God. And now.
I love that you really didn't give me a hard time though, but you were making jokes.
Oh yeah. I was trying to show you it's like
so uncomfortable.
This is why I was making so many jokes. I'm like, and then I initiated the farts. I'm like, look, are you gonna shame me for this? And your biggest concern was, what are we gonna do? I fart, Mark. What are we gonna do when we live together? I can't do this. Like, I don't want to embarrass you. What if it's like it smells? I'm gonna have to like
I
go to
never
the
said
bathroom.
that.
No, you were worried about. Yeah, you were worried about what would happen if how am I gonna fart with you all the time? Am I gonna have to go to the bathroom? Blah blah blah. And you try to hold it. And I was like, what? No way, because I'm not holding my fart. So why the hell are you gonna hold yours? Please, I don't want to be in that position
What
where.
are we talking about?
Because fart together, stay together.
Oh man.
Well, of course, maybe
There's
you
some
have your own
truth in
rules.
that. There's some truth in that.
Maybe you have your own
actually.
rules. Maybe you fart in different ways. Whatever. Of course, these are your rules. But I can guarantee you, if you're comfortable enough to fart with each other, no, the smell doesn't kill the spark. It's not like, it's not sexy. No. It's not sexy. It's not sexy. It is in the sense that you have this comfort.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to walk out of the room if it's very smelly or start waving a lot. But
now the world knows how comfortable we are with farts.
yes. Chicken really makes horrible farts, by the way. Like the smell, I mean.
That was really random. Why you have to mention chickens right now?
No, just listen. So, just be aware.
Mark knows this because Mark's dad has chickens and his actual chickens in his backyard.
Yeah, but we don't kill them to eat them. It's for eggs.
Know. It's for eggs.
Eating chicken in general.
This is how he knows their farts. Because his studio, for people who have been following Mark for a very long time, where he used to have his Phoenix wallpaper painting behind him.
Yes.
That studio, the window next to it was next to a chicken coop.
Yes.
And that's probably how you would smell all their farts.
No, but that's not what I was saying now. The eating chicken gives you smelly farts. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I
Where'd
thought you meant an actual
But that was
chicken.
a funny segue. Because they do fart, I think. Well, I mean, yeah, sort of.
I thought
they
you
shit
smelled
more.
their farts.
They shit more than they fart.
Right.
At least from what I've seen. It's smelly shits. And it's just
What is this
instant.
episode about now?
This episode is about the comfort of relationships and farting and how that segues into being a parent, an excellent parent. Okay. So, going back to the spark not dying away from chickens, which by the way, like true organic chicken, like the ones that my parents have, is next level.
Yeah.
Next level. Like we know someone who tried this and said it doesn't give me heartburn, whereas usual eggs gives me heartburn. Just to tell you the difference.
Yeah.
So please test it out for yourself.
Get chickens.
Yeah, and they have. I've researched this. Organic chicken raised in a free run. It's not just they're running around to be cute. There's a difference in cholesterol level actually.
Yeah.
In the yolk. So
I feel like that's the future. Everyone's gonna grow their own food, get their own animals and cattle and whatnot, whatever.
And buy food from rice farms.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone who doesn't
rice
know it.
Farms?
Yes.
What's rice farms, Mark?
Yes. It's our dream. It's not just movies we dream of, but also having our own sustainable high-tech farming.
And make it affordable.
Yes. So couple of years.
The dream.
Few years.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes, that's what we
First time.
throw it. Okay, we segued a lot, but that was cool.
So wait
The
a
spark.
minute. The spark. Okay,
The
but
farts.
we were talking about farts. So technically, you know that some men think women don't shit or fart.
Where are those men, and how can I educate them with a fist in the skull? Why?
I don't know why.
Like they
You're
think
asking me?
they think the shit flowers and it smells like you enter Narnia when.
Potpourri, like they probably think the pots that have potpourri in it and give a smell. in the
Yes,
living
and they
room
don't go to the
is
bathroom.
from
They
their
go to
wife.
Narnia, right? They just open the door and they go to another realm of fairies and I don't know what.
I don't know. I really wonder. I feel like just opening their skull and picking at their brain and see how.
I just feel like opening their skull. That's.
Okay, let's not get too violent here.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I love humans.
Did you want to talk about another subject?
Well, actually, no, I want to just finish about the spark.
I think people have had enough of us in
No,
fart
you
talk.
never have enough of us. Silence.
Okay.
You can listen to this for 3 hours. You better be listening right now, or I will find you, and I will kill you. No, I want to just continue talking about the spark because it's a very big one.
Yeah, go ahead.
If there's one thing I noticed that keeps the spark alive versus kills the spark, it's not the big gestures. It's very easy to do the big gestures once a year, right? The fancy gestures. It's the daily small acts, the thoughtful acts that I think,
Yeah.
and you can tell me what you think about that. And I think that's what keeps something alive. Daily thoughtful things can be as small as like folding the towel the way you like. It's ridiculous, but at the same time, it's me saying, I see you, I care about you. Placing something a certain way.
Yeah.
Taking out the trash at a specific time without the person having had to ask. Not that it's wrong to ask, right? You might have, because there's things you're better at than I am, so like you remind me of them and we're okay with that.
And things you're better at than I am. And
Sure.
we just let us do our own thing.
That's it. But I'm just giving examples here. Whatever it is, it's just a small thing that says, he cares.
Yeah.
She cares. She sees me. Those things give butterflies, I feel, in the heart.
Yeah.
And that's also sexy. And it's also intimate and it's loving. So if you can continue to find small things, small acts that say, I care about you, that's really what keeps it alive.
Definitely.
Even if you're going through a challenge, right? And that's as important, I'd say, as you become a parent. Small things that say, I care about you. And that would spill over into kids. Small things, showing up at the right time for your kid's game or whatever it is. You know, this, I'm here for you. Writing a little letter, setting up a date.
Yeah. There's some things I go grocery shopping and there's some things I know you like and we don't have, I make sure to get it and surprise you with it. It's little things. They're not big, but sometimes we don't always comment about it when we do it, but we take note of it and it's registered.
Yes,
you know?
Noticing a small detail that matters.
Yeah. Another thing we do, and a lot of couples showcase that online, and it's something we exercise as well, but it's making time for each other without technology and without social media. Some people go biking or walk together for an hour, and they make it a thing every week where just it could be a morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. 1 hour, 2 hours, no phones, nothing. If that works for you, do it. But we take our time to sit outside or go for a walk once in a while if you feel like it.
And revise our dreams together.
Yeah. Go at our favorite plane spot here in Montreal and just stay in the car and talk for hours. Just make the time with your partner on little things like that. That's another way to keep closeness.
Bonding, I think, is a big one.
Yeah.
One thing we like to do is we pray and meditate together every night. And our prayers, and of course, to each his own, but our prayers really are simply made of everything we're grateful for.
Yeah.
We just list everything we're grateful for, everything we have, we've had, and we will have. So it's all, we think of, our dreams too and work on bringing that into reality, but also grateful for all the amazing stuff that we keep being blessed with. And when you do that and you include your partner in that and everything you love about them, even if you've had a rough day, you sit down together or you're in bed and you start listing, why do I love you?
Yeah.
So these are simple things. I feel gratitude journal or that's kind of our gratitude journal in the form of prayer makes a big difference in keeping the spark going.
Yeah.
It reminds you why you're together.
Yeah.
It's very easy to forget. And you're going about your routine and it becomes just this monotone, repetitive thing. We're just together, and I think it can intensify with kids. You're so lost in having to take care of the kids and raise them, you forget why you have all this. Why do you have a family? Why are you married?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, again, it goes back to doing the small things. It's like at the gym, again, I love to just mention the gym because in a lot of ways it's the same idea. Every rep counts.
Yeah.
Every time you lift it makes a difference. It's not just showing up at the gym, lifting some big heavy weights for 5 minutes and being gone. Every day you show up, every rep is making a difference.
Well said.
And going to the gym actually keeps the spark alive.
Oh,
Staying healthy. Staying healthy gives you extra energy. Training together.
Yeah, we train 4 times a week, and
4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
please.
And we bring martial arts.
Yes.
In it as well because we
Mrs.
both
Muay
love
Thai.
to. Mr.
Karate and boxing.
And
kickboxing.
Yeah.
And the touch of jiu-jitsu. just listing my resume. Very basic. No,
you do jiu-jitsu?
It was integrated a part of it, but
I didn't know that.
Basic. No, it's no.
I did one class of jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Jiu-jitsu is actually, I would say, in that realm would be my weakness, meaning I'm far from being expert at it. Like being on the ground is where I would struggle with it. I probably would have to bite to get out of a situation. Just
scratch, bite, whatever it is.
I'm good with a couple of choke holds, rear naked choke, you know what I'm saying? Arm bar, that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to look cool right now to any MMA fans.
We're nice people, guys. Don't be fooled. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah. Do we have anything else to add here? One thing I want to add actually, because yesterday we had a moment of anger also, because we were both like also tired and gymming and stuff. One thing we do, by the way, if that can be of any help, on a scale of 1 to 10, you measure your anger. If you find yourself above 5, you stop. You step aside because you can escalate. Stop. Don't say anything. Wait to calm down.
When you notice your voice getting louder,
yeah,
which tends to happen like with you sometimes or with me, that's when you're at an 8. Yeah.
Maybe like somewhere it's maybe 6, 7. Like you're not raging. It's not like you scream, but you're starting to get extra frustrated. You're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, like you did it at a certain time yesterday and I just said stop. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Yes. Which is code for I need time. Yeah. I don't want to talk. I need a pause.
And it can be difficult in that moment, I think, because it's very important to, you have so much you want to say in that moment and you're like, I can't do this. And it's like, but you think the person just doesn't want to talk and is shutting you out. And you're like, what? And it's like, no, we just stop.
Yeah. Right? And you know that now.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the beginning, but it's something you learned, right? So because you know that now, you learned how to stop. And it's not intentional against you. It's not, I'm not being resentful or not caring here. Something I did tell you yesterday after that incident is I told you I love how grounded we are.
Yes. I think that was the highlight of it.
Yeah. And you appreciated it because we never go to a point where we insult each other. Or
we never have gotten nasty at all. I think
really shouted. Or ever been violent with each other, ever.
Obviously.
I hope not. But it's really grounding because I never accuse you of anything or say it's your fault or say you did this.
You piece of shit.
The same thing, vice versa with you. And we stop it at, well, when you said this, I felt this way. Or when I said this, you felt this way, and you clarify that. But I think this when you say that, or I think you didn't care, or all of our conversation went to waste when you say you're still hurt, for example.
Right, I was gonna say, that's another thing.
And by expressing what you think and how you feel helps a lot, and it's so much better than, I hate when you say that, or when you do this.
You did this to me.
You did this and you made me feel like it's such a better way to resolve your feelings because you're not accusing anyone. It's like, no one's fault.
Yeah. Also, that's one case where you want to be I and not you.
Yeah.
Right? It's a case where if I say I feel hurt, it's not you did this to me. I'm just sharing what I feel and I need your help.
Yeah.
It's approaching the issue together, not as if we're the opponents, right?
Yeah.
I think we mentioned that in one podcast. I feel hurt, okay? Because, look, most of the time, I'm going to say 99% of the time, there is hurt in relationships, but it's never intentional. If it's intentional, I think it's a red flag. If you're deliberately trying to hurt your partner, verbally, emotionally, obviously physically, that's very different than when it's unintentional. Because hurts happen because you don't realize, right? You may have said something, or maybe you were in a mood or whatever, or you didn't know the person's needs. And that's very different. So saying I feel hurt is saying, oh, it's like you're calling for help. Yeah. Oh, okay, you're hurt. I didn't realize. This is how you grow together. So like when I was telling you I feel hurt, it's just sharing, right? Because I think it's easy to feel accused when the person says I'm hurt or I'm bothered. And even wording, I think, makes a big difference. So I think we've become quite adept at understanding just, I'm feeling this. That's it.
And then expressing it, we end it with like a hug and a kiss, and then it's like we're good.
Yeah, we always try to reach.
Yeah. It never lingers.
Yeah. there's no resent. I think we never stay in resent. If I'm angry, I can tell you right now I can't do this. I need like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a half hour. I'll come back. I think that's a big thing.
And it's thanks to that.
Yeah.
It's thanks to giving that space for your partner and also expressing how you felt and why that helps. This is why we stay grounded in arguments.
And I think self-compassion plays into that, because let's say you're bothered by something. It doesn't mean I can practice self-compassion and say it doesn't mean I'm a shitty person or I'm a shitty husband. If you're bothered, I'm still a good person. So I can accept that you're bothered, as opposed to feeling like ashamed, and then that can transform into guilt or rage. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? And you can get defensive depending on how you start coping. So practicing self-compassion and self-love is saying, all right, she's bothered. I'm not a horrible person. I'm not a monster. I'll give her the 5 minutes or a half hour she needs, and vice versa. So be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself too when you're going through these things.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap it up.
Thank you for listening and supporting us. As always, share your thoughts, throw us questions, sign up to our newsletter to stay up to date with our podcast and all our announcements. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and directly on our website, riseprojects.com.
That's Rise, RYZE.
Projects.com.
Yes. Are we doing this too much?
Yeah, we are. With that said, see you on the next episode. Stay awesome.
We love you guys.